Hi, I'm Anthony. In today's video, you're going to see me having another Muscle Up Masterclass. My coach, Wodge, is going to be focusing on the transition from below to above the bar. Before I hand you over to Wodge, please do give this video a like. The algorithm will absolutely love it and it'll help promote the video to a wider audience. So let's get straight into it. Over to you, Wodge.
Yeah. This is so we can become better at manipulating our way around the bar, even when we run out of pulling strength. Yeah. And now bandits, same thing. Laying down on it, hip come forward. I keep my chest sticking out so it doesn't drop below the bar. I want to be here. And then head butt, legs go up. I use my forearms to roll on. Then the next steps further down the line, so we've already got a reference, is we can lower ourselves off and then pull and then roll around. Yeah? So it kind of starts to incorporate some of that pull into the transition. Okay, let's see how we get on. You might find that this band is so strong it overpowers you and when you pull your leg down, that's why you have to push your hip through. So we're gonna slide down into the bottom of the sternum. Fold in more. Nope, kind of through. Yeah, and then back on. Roll on. Shay, not bad, not bad. I need more contact here, yeah? Yes. Lay down on it, lay down, deeper. And then back on. Good. Oh, good. Better. I still want you to be tighter. I want you to be closer to the bars. Yeah, get up and back on. That's it, and back on. Good. Yes. Oh, come on. That's good. Yeah. There's an actor. Yeah. If you get one thing out of line, if your center of gravity travels behind the bar, you drop like a sack of shit. Yeah. So kind of being always locked onto it and always be in a position that lets us go from here to the, yeah, so what that could eventually lead into is basically like a semi-post grip muscle up, but basically without any swing. Yeah. Yeah. That comes with a long time of practice. Yeah, next week. I always say that. Well, the good news is there's going to be a continuous progress. Yeah. The muscle up, there's so much more to it than just pull really high and then do a dip. Yeah. Getting really good and strong at this will mean you won't have to pull as hard. Yeah. And your dip will be able to go from lower, basically, rather than going from here and then that, because that, as we know, is so much more effort than just go pull here and lock. Yeah. Again, this is not very high, this part, but it's learning better control. So no matter position where I go from, I can just wiggle my way around because I'm good at understanding where my center of gravity needs to be so I can lock onto the bar. Yeah. So it'll be pulling your legs forward less, but you'll need to drive down on the bar and into you, okay? That's it. Really pull it through. Obviously, the higher you pull, the easier it is to roll. Yeah. But realistically, even with, especially with this band, you're not going to be able to pull that high. Yeah. So we're going to shoulder blade bar in the bar to here. So you can start on the bottom as well, and just see if you can hold this isometric position. You just try to hold up. And that's it. Or we could do partials again. So we go from here, sink the elbows back a little bit, and then back on. Like that. Yeah? Ooh. Oh yeah, it's so elbowy, I can feel it. My tricep is like the strongest part of my body. Yeah, nice and deep, nice and deep, nice and deep. Elbows back a little bit. Yeah, so you can model on. Take the chest out on the top bit, and then go. Yeah. Wrist over a little bit more so you don't strain them as much. There you go. That's it. Yeah. So try to do the bottom position first. Just this. Then we hang, keeping bottom tight. Yeah. Take a longer rest. Take a rest, because you've just done a bit. The isometric position. Just a hold. Slide on more. That's it. Chest sticking out more. Hips through. That's good. And then roll on top of it. Go, 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 go. Come on. It looked good. That's why I said to try that reversal. Where it's kind of anticipating that you'll have to wobble. It's kind of finding that movement that helps you take your round. But the bottom was good. I would like you to try to get a little bit more pin of the elbows in. Because at the moment you're high, but you're kind of like away from it a bit. Right. And you're like this. I want you to like literally lock onto the bar. Yeah? Okay. So, should try again. Hold on. Stand where you are. Take a hand off the bar. We want to be like this. Knuckles over. Shoulder blades back. And then glutes really tight, hips forward. That's it. That's the bottom position. Okay. Now try to apply that with the bar. Step one foot onto the bar. Yeah. Yeah. And then roll into it. Hips forward, hips forward, hips forward, hips forward more. Shoulder blades back more. Shoulder blades back. Chest sticking out. You want the chest to be above the bar. Pretty good. And rest. That's fine. As I said, just the hold at the bottom. Yeah. But really sink down. Get that head down, loads. I want the head to be nearly touching this bar. That's it. That's it. Elbows down, elbows down. Let the elbows go down, hips come forward. Legs go down, and then back up. Back up, back up, back up. You went too far. Yeah. You need your elbows to be more proactive. Yeah. You're just trying to let your whole body drop. Yeah. Just the elbows sting. Okay? That's it. So elbows dip back and then roll back. Like when we do Russian dip, yeah? Yeah. That's it, yeah. So let those elbows be more proactive. So you try to stay in the same position with the sternum touching the bar. Yeah. Elbows wiggle. They don't flare out, but obviously they will have to go down under the bar. Or at least like level with it. Lay down, lay down, lay down. Elbows back. Legs up. And then reverse it. You went quite low again. You're going too far down and you're letting your legs come up. Lower your legs down, hips come forward as your elbows go back. Yeah? Yeah. Like down on it, get your chest down, 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 down. And then elbows and legs go back. And then back on, back on, back on, back on, fight for it. There you go, good. See how much core compression you just used to recover? Yeah. That was good. I had to direct you a little bit, but you did it. Yeah. So you're still going a little bit too far back. Yeah. Yeah. Move those elbows back slightly with opening the hips and then fall back on it. Yeah. I'm gonna allow myself a tiny bit of a swing. And end up basically pulling through belly button. Just like pulling like that. The challenge you got is if you pull too early, this will slide away from you. Yeah. So you have to make sure that you're pulling as you're swinging back. Right. Because if you pull too early, you're then jerking on that. Yeah. And it's just not going to go anywhere. So we're learning to utilize momentum here in, using inertia rather than momentum. Like going with, cool, that's me swinging forward. If I pulled now, it would be premature, and I'm basically just sending the handle forward. So as soon as I'm starting my swing back, I'm going to start slow, 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 and then explode. Okay. So it kind of, you still need to be really fast, but you'll notice it accelerates as it goes rather than straight off the bottom. Yeah. So rather than it being like a jerk, like this. I see. Yeah. Yeah. It follows the change of direction. And go. Yes. Higher. Come on, drive all the way past you. Yes. Swing and go. Yes. Rest. Go for it. So lay down on it really deep. The deeper you go, the better. And then elbows go back, legs go down, legs go down, legs go down. Slide down more. Legs down, legs down, legs down. I don't want you to do the dip. I want you to think about the rolling of the elbows, yeah? So stay on the bottom. Stay low, stay low, stay low. Now, legs go down, legs go back. Elbows go back as well. Elbows go back, legs go down. At the same time, yeah? And then roll back, yeah? Legs down, legs down. You're making it harder if you let your legs go swinging off you. So as you go back, get your chest lower, and then hips come forward, elbows go back. Don't flare them. You're flaring your elbows. Rest up. You're trying to do this. Yeah. What I want you to do is this. Okay. Trying to let the elbows roll back, but as you do that, the legs have to roll back as well. Right. Okay. So we stay on this point, on the bar. Let's try this again. Yeah, legs down, elbows back. You're flaring your elbows because you're afraid you're going to fall off. If you pin your elbows back, you're not going to fall off. When you put back, you need that. Yes. So back in, and then they roll back as the legs go back as well. You're trying to get your elbows and heel come together. So they're apart, and you want to get them to come together. Yeah, that is doing this. Yeah. Lay down deep. Now legs go down, and then back on. Back on. There you go. There you go. Better. A little bit too fast, but you got there, and you got back. Pretty good. That second one was better. Fine. Pretty good. Yep, back your head, yeah. Eyes on the bar. Good catch. Don't follow. That's quite high in yeah, I don't need a lot of space. Just as long as my head fits. Well, that's way too high. Lower, lower. That'll do. Yeah. That's all right. That's okay. Wow. Yeah. Minimal pull required. Watch how low she transitions. She basically does a transition above her chest. Yeah. And again. How you can pull. Yeah.
Get ready.
Yeah. She just pulls to here, but she can still bar muscle up. Yeah. Most people need to pull to here to clear it. Pretty good. As high as you can, make contact with the bar towards the end of the pull, yeah? So all of the pulls have to end with where the transition will begin, just higher. Stretch the chest. Yes, good. And again. Good. The last one, you just push the hip through. But the first two were really good. Like crunch your core towards the abdominal. Pull higher, come on. Drive all the way around. It probably with a tiny bit more swing, like the same amount of swing you do in a muscle up, you probably pull higher. So on the first one, you kind of did this. Yeah. That is counterintuitive to what we're trying to do if we did a transition. So we pull in and crunch towards it. Yeah. Because it's easy to just go and not actually be nowhere near the bar. Yeah. So it's kind of like an explosiveness like that. Yeah. That will not translate into a muscle up. You want it to be something that could continue into a muscle up if we want it to. So we pull and drive into the bar. Yeah. Okay. And the last bit, you kind of crunch your core, because the same way you would crunch your core as you transition. Yes. Big stretch. Okay. So there's one thing that I'm noticing that you're not doing that you could benefit from. Yeah. I mean, I'll demo. So even with minimal swing, I can utilize this to my... So rather than just going, like, you had the tiny swing, so I'm going to go with the same little swing as well. And I'm just going to pull the same way you did. And my scapula is fixed. I basically just pull on the swing back, right? Now, have a look at the difference here and tell me if you can spot it. Same minimal swing. I go from active hang, so my shoulders are down, and when I come to the front of the swing, I go pop open, not overextend, because that would be a no rep, but stretch the shoulders, and then power by driving them down as I bend my arms. So it's timing this movement with obviously this movement, yeah? So it's that. So you go active scapula, pop it open for a couple of milliseconds, and then crunch it again, yeah? So basically go stretch reflex or shortening cycle of the muscle. So rather than staying tight, I go pop the shoulders open and then slam. Yeah? Okay. So you're trying to do it a really nice strict way, which is good, but it's not going to be as advantageous. And this is still within the rules for both body strong and all the other ones.
Whenever you say do it with muscle ups but not with
pull-ups. Exactly, yeah. So if I did a pull-up, yeah, and in power, and I did this, then that'll be invalidated because I went from active to then passive after the top and then went up. So that's no good because that's basically cheating. But it's allowed on the bar muscle up because it's so fleeting. You didn't notice that I did it, and I feel it loads, and you see how much difference. I pulled figure on the first one, and then with stretch reflex, I pulled figure. Yeah, so you can utilize that. Stretch the band, like push your whole body weight down into it, down,
It's like
and then
using a
pull with
resistance band, isn't it?
You're adding your own built-in band, Stretching the lats a little bit, stretching the scapula, like muscles around scapula, a little bit of serratus there, and then exploding and tightening them all up afterwards. Yeah? Try it. Some people find that it pulls on their body.
I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please do give it a like. And don't forget, this is a great time to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next one.